to pause this relationship until you figure your
You know Hassan clapped Denise? Oh, I'd love to see it.
shit out.
Our silence means something. That's exactly what we felt. Wow, it's almost like we were right about you. There's something that
that's it. You're right. If you would have just picked up your phone and said, and you could have done it publicly, I don't appreciate that. You don't know the position I'm in. You're putting me in a really tough spot. I don't appreciate that. We still support you. And that was it. That's all you had to do. But you wanted to get him. You wanted to end him. You wanted to wake up, Ethan. It's your worst nightmare. It's not. Now it's your worst nightmare. I mean, how good could Idubbbz be doing right now? Let's get into the skulls. Let's do it.
A few days ago, my good friend Ian, also known as Idubbbz, released a content cop about
We gotta get on his diet. He's getting like weird skinny.
me. His video's over an hour long and it's full of a lot of accusations. We watched the entire video, every frame of it, responded to every accusation.
Unlike Hassan.
On the podcast and a really long episode. We watched the whole thing. So if you're interested,
Hassan had to get high to even talk about it. And don't tell me he wasn't, because he barely could keep his eyes open. He's probably a junkie.
and a more thorough response to everything, I would recommend watching this episode. The video that I'm making today, however, I don't need an hour for, because there's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend,
The only one anybody ever really had to make.
Ian, and
I admit this escaped me. Keemstar kind of picked up on it before I did. Oh, man.
his hour-long takedown did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time. In the entire video, he never says CPS. No mention, no explanation, no overview, nothing. Zero.
I saw somebody on my timeline. I posted something today and it got like 1,000 likes, and I have no idea why. I think somebody's trying to my account or something, because it doesn't. The people who reposted it don't seem to have any clout. I don't know why this thing got as many likes. I looked on Reddit. I have no idea why. But in the thread of this thing, there's a handful, and this is the first time I've seen it since I've been making posts about Idubbbz, of Idubbbz defenders. One of them caught my eye. It was particularly funny that it's no big deal when CPS comes to your house. And I was just like, now, I've been involved in CPS on two situations. Once when I was a child and once during a divorce, okay? In the situation where I was a child, because my mother wanted to get revenge on my father, right? She tried to, rather than release custody of me to my father, she gave me to the Flemington, what they would call DIFUS, which is CPS in New Jersey. So I would be put in a foster home to get back at my dad. It was some of the scariest fucking shit. Now, admittedly, I wasn't a teenager and as young as some of Ethan's kids, but it was scary. The second time is when I had garbage allegations against me, which didn't even come close to what Ethan was accused of. It was just a bunch of bullshit, like I wasn't taking care of her or some shit, the typical stuff. When CPS comes to your house, you shit your pants. You shit your pants. And the idea, like, oh, it's so big, all you gotta do is talk to them and let them know. Oh, man, here's the thing. Even if they come in and look and say, all right, this is a bunch of horse shit, you shit your pants. They are not known. Anybody who's been involved in divorce, anybody who's been a child divorce, they are not known for being the most level-headed. They seem to jump at taking kids away. And that goes all the way back to the mid-'80s. And probably before that, too. And the CPS here in Germany was started by Adolf Hitler. So you shit your pants. The idea that somebody would say that, well, it's no big deal at CPS. Are you kidding me? Now, I wouldn't have been nervous because of him, because I was a millionaire. If I was a millionaire. Oh, God. You shit your pants when there's policemen and CPS workers questioning you about your children. You moron.
0 mentions of CPS. A few weeks ago, Child Protective Services showed up to our house at 6 a.m. to interrogate us about an anonymous tip they got that our kids were crawling around and eating dog shit at
When CPS comes to your house, they treat you like a criminal. Yes, you are guilty before proven innocent. It is these are the biggest low-life, no children bearing, cat-loving, and only cat-loving women you could ever run into. They are as vicious as bureaucrats as they come, and they love the power. I'll give you another CPS story. When my father finally won me in court, I remember the CPS woman that wanted to turn me over to foster home so she could, get in league with my mother to revenge my father. When my father finally won me in court, right? The next day they're supposed to make the transfer. She came over to my mother's house, which I was staying. I wouldn't be there the next day. And by the way, I lived with my father for the rest of my childhood, right? She came over on her own volition, nothing to do with the state. And I'll never forget it because she had one of those fucking lazy eyes and one eye going this way. And she's like, and she told me that my father, do not be surprised if my father did not come to get me tomorrow because this happens often. Trying to get me to freak out before I came down there. Probably trying to get me free act so I could act up so I can go into her custody. But I remember looking at her crazy fucking eye and I just walked away. The idea that that's no big deal is such a lie. And it does make, like, the fact that Ian admitted it just tells me he knows it was wrong. And he knows at probably some level he should have done something if he was really his friends. But let me tell you something about all these YouTubers. And I got to be honest with you, Ethan's probably included in this unless he's changed recently. It's all about who you know. It's all about your sub count. It's all about if you're worth talking to. It's always been like that. I've always, ever since I've been doing this, I know that's the case. I had people contact me. I had people contact me that I admired after Baited happened that just wanted me to be my friend because of Baited. Deji called in here just for that reason, if you guys remember that. So there's no way. He is not off when he said they're probably used. The only thing is they all use each other. All these people use each other on the lowest level and the highest level. They don't care. It's all about their own fame.
Diseases. Ian spends the majority of his video characterizing me like a raving lunatic who's lashing out at everyone around me with zero provocation.
Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can rekindle our friendship.
Yeah, and lol is right.
I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
What he doesn't say is the majority of these clips he's using are taken from this episode.
I actually didn't know this.
Now, does he ever show the title of this episode? No, he does not ever show the title of this episode. Snark called Child Protective Services on us. Not only does he not show the title...
So there's no way he couldn't have known. There's no way he couldn't have known. Sure. There's no way he couldn't have known. So when I said before that Ethan probably, and I stand by that, Ethan probably shouldn't have put Anissa and Idubbbz in that spot to begin with. It does, I still don't think it, but it makes it understandable. Mm-hmm. It makes it completely understandable how pissed they were. She's shooting the shit with them during this whole thing going on.
He doesn't explain why I'm upset, who I'm mad at, why I'm mad at them. Zero context. I am just an anonymous, screaming lunatic.
Yeah.
It's been pleasant hanging out.
And if you come around and think like us, you'll be welcomed back in. You're a creep, Idubbbz. You're a freaking creep.
With you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Yeah. Did the mother of the children that came over, the CPS people came over, probably scared the life out of her? Yeah, was she a little crass?
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not...
You know what's funny? He said, and I don't like emotional dumping grounds either. But when I watched the actual podcast, he said, "Yeah, it's my show. I can do what I want. When aren't you dumping about something?" It was a really good response.
What podcasts are. There was a way to approach us to say like, "Oh yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something."
I'll tell you something. You know who deserves an apology? Jordan Peterson. I'm not even joking. He deserves an apology. What wasn't that fucking Hassan's idea? Wasn't he enjoying the shit out of that when they took that podcast down? Put it in one in the chat if you remember. He told them, "You will never be enough for these people." He probably was thinking it because you're a Jew and they're going to turn on you as soon as it got. Because Jordan Peterson probably knows the history of commies and Jews, and it ain't good.
Something. You've decided to do the extra thing.
Whether he's crazy or not, human error doesn't make a lick of difference. He hit this right in the head. He didn't do any kind of provocation to get them to take that podcast down and have Ethan spike the football on him. And he responded with, "Do what you like, but one day they're coming for you, just like they came for me." And he was right. Rip to former Cardinal Jorge Mario Balerno, and a former Bishop of Buenos Aires, who recently served as the Bishop of Rome. I guess.
And attack.
In this episode, the same day that CPS came to my home, I was
Yeah, also the Pope died. Yeah, I know. I blame J.D. Vance.
understandably irate. This was a provocation that I had not experienced. It went into my real world, was affecting my children and my life in a way that I found extremely.
Can I say, like, I don't like the Pope. I don't like the current Pope at all. I didn't like him at all. I thought he was a woke asshole. How about that?
Extremely disturbing and an escalation
anymore.
Yeah, no. Well, I didn't like him, so I'm not going to miss him terribly. I'm not glad he's dead or something crazy like that. But I didn't particularly like him.
that I
want them to get some old school Guinea in there that hates pedos and will wipe him out. But I realize that's probably not going to happen. Even Pope Benedict couldn't do anything about it. It's time to bring the greaseballs back because they were basically Italian until 1980. I think the one Italian Pope died. They put a new one, and he died in a week. And they're like, "All right, maybe we ought to put a Polak in there." yeah, there's too many. No more South Americans.
found very unacceptable. Now, why am I mad at Ian for this?
Unfortunately, you'll probably be way more left wing. Good, leave the church. Start your own church. I think there's a new referee. Let's Martin Luther this bitch. Let's new reformation. Well, I am way off topic here. Let's listen to Ethan, the Jew.
Well, let's start here. Denims is someone he's accusing me of in his video of harassing. Let's see what Denim said about my children 3 days before CPS was called.
He lets his dogs shit all over his mansion, and he just leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons. So I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house
Why didn't she think to herself, this sounds like bullshit?
is just like covered in dog shit.
Oh, it's exactly what she wanted to hear.
And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something. But
that's child endangerment. So Ethan is only sexualizing underage girls. He's also neglecting children. What?
they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in
JFK rotting. Nice. I can confirm the history of not picking up his dog shit for years. Dan has called him out for it many times.
my life, called Giarda, from the dog shit that is all over his house.
Dude,
Yeah. You ever wonder? Oh, it's what you wanted to hear. It's true.
how is it that like maybe once a week
And what's this got to do with fucking Palestine? Nothing.
I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story.
Same thing about you. I actually, except it's not terrible. It usually just shows how dumb you are.
But his family getting
We
Giarda.
already have Mold Mondays. Now we have Shit Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small
Oh, here comes the concern troll.
children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, It's very, very, very dangerous when infants get the same sicknesses that adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult. You're totally fine. You'll be A-okay. No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
No wonder his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew, playing...
No wonder this motherfucker is always sick. Yeah. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How is this happening? How is it happening?
It's the best thing ever, isn't it, sweetie?
How is this happening?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even make fun.
You see what she's trying to do there? Like, how is this happening? It's great. These Jews got jihad. How is this happening? She had to contain herself.
Yeah, good boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, switch gears. I'm concerned. I had somebody send me something from Bad Empanada. I thought it was interesting. I have no idea the way to verify this sucker, though. I don't have my glasses on. This guy's really crazy.
Do you need me to read something?
No, it's I don't want to put the wrong thing on screen because I'm pretty sure to the validity of this stuff, but I'm not. If I was making a video, I'd only posted it as something that somebody sent me rather than whether it was legitimate or not. I can't see it that far. That's the problem. So I don't want. In order for you to see it, I have to put it on the screen. But essentially,
send it to me.
because it takes too long. Essentially, I guess I keep this in mind. If you hate my guts, all right, and you want to get involved with the Palestinian thing, and you want to support Bad Empanada, all right, find another way to support the Palestinians for your own good. Because what I saw, if it's true, is what he does. If there's any questioning over, well, maybe we shouldn't do this, maybe we shouldn't dox this person, maybe we shouldn't do this, he threatens you. And he's got your information. And that's what I was shown. I don't think I'll ever release it because I'm not 100% sure. It's a screenshot. I do think it's going to come out one day. I know multiple creators are aware of it. It's just a matter of verification. But so if you hate my guts and you want to help, and you're like, oh God, he's a pro-genocide, all right, fine. I'm a pro-genocide guy, whatever. Believe that if you want. But don't get involved with him. He'll fuck you. He'll fuck you hard. He is a really rich kid from Australia, then moved to Argentina so he can get away with this shit. He'd probably get, they have the hate laws over in Australia, which I don't agree with, by the way. And he would probably got picked up over there, which is why he's over there. And he's living on his parents' money, from what I understand. So, and he's telling these people what they want to hear. And, he's gone after Willie and stuff like that. But he's a pretty crazy guy. And you'll see it in this video.
I've never made fun of people's weight.
Who cares if you did?
I do make fun of people's posture. If you're making an active decision that, you don't give a fuck about your health or your posture.
Well, what's the difference between being fat and your fucking posture? That's unhealthy too, but I don't make fun of that. That's off limits.
Or your dog shitting all over the house to the point where your kids are getting giardia. That's the image of someone who is not well. Wait,
it's the commies do. You're mentally ill. You don't disagree with them. You're mentally ill.
What? Wait, what, Dams? Wait, what?
And then we can't sell that anymore. Then they go after you.
You guys didn't know about this? Yeah. Meth Zempic diet. Oh God.
Even after CPS was called
cancer,
Denham's attempted to justify it by claiming that it's okay because children can't be traumatized.
I want you to create any bad memory here for them. Like, they are 5 and 3. They don't understand this shit. So I told him,
create any bad memory for them. You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old.
Were you a doctor? I don't know why I don't want cops around in an aggressive manner around my fucking kids. I think the thing is nobody knows what it could do or not. Better not happen, especially not happen for illegitimate reasons, you bimbo.
Nah, yes, you are. No, you're not. When we're talking about...
Yeah, she is dumb as a brick. And if she's got an IQ point over 99, I'd be shocked.
Being able to remember, being able to recall memories, it's like 4 is the cutoff. But even if you are forming any memories at 4, you're not going to be able to remember them past like 15.
What does it matter?
You have maybe 1 or 2 memories.
If you're wondering who the guy is she's watching, his name is
Yeah, what if those 1 or 2 is the fucking CPS knocking down your door? You bimbo.
Bad Empanada. And as far as harassment campaigns go, you'd think that Ian, as someone who cares so deeply about it, would be talking about him and not me. Here's a small taste.
I'd like to pay tribute to Ethan Klein and the new Twitch TOS that declares Zionism. Zion is the slur. I'd like to pay tribute to him by playing the first in Al-Aqsa video game where you kill Zionist soldiers as a Palestinian resistance fighter. Anyways, are these...
I had surgery when I was 3, woke up during it, and I still remember this day, 25. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Jack Walker, but it really doesn't matter. You know.
Wait, are these Israelis? They're just standing there?
This guy is a crazy lunatic. I mean it's actually kind of comical.
The Israeli army, a bunch of Ethan Kleins, like they're all on a fucking Ozempic binge. They don't understand what's going on around them. They haven't noticed me. Where do they keep the secretaries? In here? I'm hunting for secretaries right now.
You're next, Willie.
Secretary got...
Here's Bad Empanada once again, who posted a story saying, I'm the one who called CPS on Ethan Klein. I want CPS to take his kids away because they are seriously in danger.
This is good.
Today was pretty bad, wasn't it? Really sucked for you. You were so disappointed. The betrayal of one of your closest.
Kind of backfired in his face, though, fuckhead.
Long-term friends, huh?
Yeah.
Tick-tock, though, Ethan. Tick-tock, because this was just a taste. This was just a small part of what we have organized for you.
I gotta be honest with you, and I don't think this is like fucking protected speech. If he gets on the horn with the Argentinian police and this guy gets picked up for making threats like this, I have no problem with it. None. None.
It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse, Mr. Klein.
Yeah, it might be time, Willie, it might be time to take a deeper look into this guy. Because I've seen some stuff, and I'm pretty sure you have too. That's much more disturbing than this.
Every day, sit there just waiting in misery, in fear of what we have in store for you. Tick-tock goes the clock.
Maybe if he stops harassing other creators.
He lets his
That was a good one.
dogs shit all over his mansion, and he just leaves the shit on the floor.
Maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace.
House is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit.
And I feel like
Why would I think a guy that just made a video like that wouldn't give 2 fucks about his kids having Giardia? just a guess.
I'm speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you.
I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something.
I was particularly angry during this episode
Why? You're just unhinged. You're a crazy person.
Titled Snark Called CPS on.
Like, how? Control yourself, Ethan. And then you can get your friends back.
Us because I hold denims to be one of the primary reasons, in my opinion, why CPS was
I don't know. Seems like a safe bet to me.
called. Another one of their friends,
he's
Froggy.
Just harassing Denims. He's
Or
harassing her.
well, because she's Arab. It's not because she's a dumb witch.
Tonic had been spreading the same malicious rumor about me on Twitter for days before CPS was called as well.
I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, you know? Like, I'm not gonna endorse it, I'm not gonna retweet it or like it, but fair enough. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit.
And when saying some truly mean stuff, right? It makes it like he's whining about trolls. That's all. He's just whining about a handful of trolls, and you want to say, oh, Ethan, come on, like suck it up, because a lot of creators do this. Like, oh, somebody said something mean about me on the internet. Oh, it's equivalent to a crime. Yeah, like I don't know. I think organizing what this guy's organizing might be a crime, if I had to guess.
Called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure.
Now let me show you the tweets that Ian conveniently omitted. Me when my 3 kids ask me why they haven't seen me in the past 4 months. I was in my basement. How can you shun a fallen fan when they worry about their 3 kids when they can't be bothered to protect their dogs? Ethan was
He left those out, huh? I wonder why.
Neglectful with his dogs. He's already been neglectful with his kids, and he will continue to be. As a child of a neglectful, bipolar, narcissistic dad, that's precisely why I worry about...
Probably because you were a pussy and couldn't play catch.
About Ethan's kids. I explained it on the podcast, but the truth of the...
Maybe your dad hated you. Like, you know, maybe your dad hated you because you're a piece of shit. It's not impossible.
Matter is, it's all a lie. It's
like
all...
if my kid was Ted Bundy, I would like, that guy's a piece of shit.
Wrong. The man is talking about my children. He's painting me as a terrible parent, a neglectful parent, and saying that he's...
And one thing these guys always have in common, none of them have kids.
Whose claim to fame as being Idubb's friend and former editor is spreading malicious, damaging rumors about me that led to the CPS being called. Which, by the way, Ian...
You hear that dog in the background. He took it down.
Does not explain one thing. He did not mention why I'm angry at Froggy Tonic. He did not mention why I'm angry at Denim.
Well, here's the thing. If he mentioned why you were actually angry, then he couldn't go on and say you were crazy.
He did not mention the name of the episode. He did not mention what the episode was about. He actually has a perfect opportunity to explain the CPS call, but watch what he does here instead.
Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with...
I'm sure Hila would rather be told to see you next Tuesday rather than what happened.
Cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit.
What other shit, Ian? Other shit is doing a lot of heavy lifting, man. Now, why does this matter? Because Anissa was yucking it up with these guys during the period in which they were...
Let me see something, Anissa. Oh, they're talking about ring stuff.
Spreading this rumor, and when the CPS call was made. The CPS call is central to understanding this story. You cannot tell this story without that context, and to try to tell this story without including that detail, it would be the most bad faith, cruel, gaslighting hit piece of all time.
It might be. I think this is actually taking a real shift. I mean, you saw it with Hassan. He's like, yeah, I would have stuck to the politics. Translation, oh boy, this thing backfired. Big time. Big time. It does not look politically good for me.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what he did. He convinced his audience that the reason that I'm mad, that I'm lashing out, simply because I'm a raving lunatic. I am crashing out. I'm just crazy and harassing his friends for no...
This is coming from a guy that only wanted Hassan to show a tiny bit of empathy to the people who were killed on October 7th. That's it. He was never pro-Israel. It doesn't seem like Hila was a mega patriot either. He just wanted... And that made Ethan a genocidal maniac.
No reason. And by the way, to my good friend Ian of 8 years, I really appreciate you weaponizing my mental health against me.
To make Ethan crash out. He's having a parasocial, weird crash out. People can have crash out moments.
This is why you have to leave out the CPS, because then you can't say this.
Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help.
Someone who I've confided in over the years with my struggles.
Well, that you deserve. Confiding in any of these jackasses, get what you deserve.
With it, who understands what I've been through,
He doesn't understand
the
anything.
lengths that I've gone to work on myself and improve my mental condition. For him to throw that in my face, to characterize anything I'm doing as crashing out, that I need help, that I need to get some kind of treatment, is cruel and pathetic on a level.
And common among liberals. So you guys got to start thinking of that before all you liberals in the chat like, I'm not like that, I'm not like that. There is a sect, there is a part, they are extremists, I will admit, that do that. And when a liberal's telling you you're mentally ill, you need help, it's what they're really saying, this is your last chance.
I didn't think he would ever be possible of doing.
We're leftists, not liberals. You want to get in a fucking, and sure, fine. You know, that's what this conversation always deludes to. What sect you're in, whatever. But that's where you find them, on the left.
One ridiculous point he keeps hammering on is that I'm hating on him, I'm harassing him, simply because he's following people on Twitter.
We're not going to run to your defense when, we follow people. We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter,
we follow terrorist supporters.
we be following.
I'm not upset, Ian, because you follow people. That is absurd. I'm mad because you are actively engaging with these people on social media, in DMs, while this harassment is happening, seemingly indifferent to it, silent on it. In a sense, I felt like you were more on their side than my side.
Our silence means something.
It means we're pro-terrorist.
means that we would like.
Yeah, that's what it means. They're okay with that. Listen, that's the one thing Keem starts saying. If you want to take my criticism, Ethan, and saying, hey, you shot the shit too early. You don't know the position they're in, right? And their response is content cop after saying it was just a bad thing. Then Ethan was right. He supports these maniacs. He is one of these maniacs.
To pause this relationship until you figure your
You know Hassan clapped Denise? Oh, I'd love to see it.
shit out.
Our silence means something. That's exactly what we felt. Wow, it's almost like we were right about you. There's something that
that's it. You're right. If you would have just picked up your phone and said, and you could have done it publicly, I don't appreciate that. You don't know the position I'm in. You're putting me in a really tough spot. I don't appreciate that. We still support you. And that was it. That's all you had to do. But you wanted to get him. You wanted to end him. You wanted to wake up, Ethan. It's your worst nightmare. It's not. Now it's your worst nightmare. I mean, how good could Idubbbz be doing right now? But Dojangles showed how much stuff has been selling out over there. Almost nothing. They're going to be fighting in front of nobody. Jake Paul, I got to find this. There's something somebody was telling me. I got to check something real quick. Jake Paul has announced he's doing his fight on the same day. Good night, nurse. I want to see something real quick. Hold on. All right, but why would he kill the second event? I've been told that the same people that run or own Jake Paul own Creator Class or have a stake in it. Why would they do this? Why would they put two events? Maybe they just gave up on it. Okay.
I forgot the word why.
Okay, all right, yeah, but why would he want to hurt the other event? Or did he just give up? Up on CC3. Yeah, that's a question I want to answer.
We met the goal.
Oh, we met the goal? Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now I get to, like I said, I'd boogie 2988. Boogie! Boogie. Let's start another one. I'll boogie 2988 some more. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
989.
Whatever. I'll do that too. I'll do that too.
I've never talked about publicly, but around the same time, we received 2 human skulls in the mail at our home.
This is blowing people's minds.
Which led us to having a very pleasant interview with the FBI.
The kids won't mind. They don't know.
Things have progressed well past the point of that's just what the internet does. Ian had a recent...
And he's right. But I got to be honest, this goes back to the thing. The one thing I'd love to say to Ethan, and I'd say it to his fucking face if I could, this is the result of you getting in the bed with far-right psychopaths, except that they're on the far left. And that you should have known. You should have known that he was a communist. You should have known the history of communism and Jews. You should have known all these things. I mean, I think Jews in general need to wise fucking up with the far left. See where you stand in the totem pole when they get in charge.
Revelation. He's transcended into a new person. He's achieved nirvana and discovered empathy at age 32.
I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy. And I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic.
Somebody probably told him that.
To say at the age of 32, I've acquired empathy.
Actually, you know what? I got to be telling you, if that's true, and I actually don't believe it's true, that means you're fucking crazy. Because obviously your empathy gets a little stronger, you know, more perspective as we get older. You know, there's changes in your brains that take place. But if you didn't acquire anything by the time you were a teenager, you're a fucking stone psycho. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got around all these liberals and they basically told him he's unempathetic. I'm like, oh, wow, I need to achieve this. And by the way, I saw this before. I've seen this before with some of the woke crowd. It instead of achieving nirvana, they're achieving a higher level of empathy, which is really crazy. I mean, who says that? He either is a stone psychopath or what I think he is. I couldn't achieve empathy. I mean, unbelievable. Or I think he's one of these guys. Put him on the chat if you know a guy. I'll read these later, all right? Thanks so much. I'll read the $10 up later. Put him on the chat if you know a guy that becomes the group around him. Like he's cool with you, but then when he's around a certain group of people, he treats you like shit, right? You know those guys? That's what I think he is. So it depends on. So he's probably around a bunch of edgy, funny guys when he was doing it. Now he's under a different crew. He wants to fit in with that crew. So he's that. So yeah, he's kind of like a glass of water. He just, you pour it in and it kind of fits. And it's just a real empty, and it actually kind of shows you dumb. That he's an imitator, an actor. Why do you think all these actors come out and they speak out for all these causes? They don't want anybody to know they're stupid. And the easiest way to do that is to regurgitate left-wing values. Makes you feel superior. But really, you're an empty suit that pretends for a living.
But I have, and I've realized it because I just can't help myself but...
I actually don't think that's a swastika, but...
feel for other people's pain and suffering now. I'm still not perfect.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing lefties do. They achieve empathy except for the people that politically oppose them. They don't have that. They don't have that sort of Christian value like it's across the board.
I think that is, my empathy meter's only...
Easily manipulated. What are easily manipulated than dumb people, Beavers McWood? They're stupid. He's a stupid guy. He knows how to fit in. That's it. Jesus. What an accomplishment.
Maybe a quarter of the way filled up, potentially, but it's at least there.
In the spirit of his newfound enlightenment, he had this to say.
I'm a prick. I've never had any problem with empathy in any part of my life. And I am a sharp-tongued prick.
I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it. The content I'm talking about specifically are content cop videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people for very lackluster reasons and obviously didn't have any accountability online whatsoever on my end. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I am any better than any of these people that I was making content cop.
That's ironic.
Videos on, and I'm not. I'm a human. I'm a real human who makes mistakes, and, you know, I make a different set of mistakes.
See, so you sound like somebody found Jesus.
Than the people I was making videos on, but it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave, and it's not.
What happened?
You're not that powerful. That's the thing to get. He is an egomaniac.
Oh yeah.
You are
I mean,
not
you
that
see right
powerful.
there.
What, do you invented making fun of people? Are you that much of an egomaniac? I mean, really?
Am I so uniquely evil that you're willing to abandon your newfound principles after, what, less than a year? What is it that I've done, Ian, that makes me more detestable than any of the other people that you've content copped? And for what did you do this? To revitalize your dying career? This entire video reeks of desperation, of being thrown together, and poorly researched. I don't really even understand why they did this, and I can't imagine that it's going to be worth
It's pretty easy why they did it. They wanted to get in with a new
it.
crowd.
Thanks for the 8 years of friendship, buddy. Have fun with your new friends.
Maybe you should send them. Maybe you should send them Jordan Peterson's tweet to you, because I don't think he's out of the woods with this stuff yet. To me, unless he comes out and says, I'm not throwing like old liberals under the bus or anything, but yeah, there is, and by the way, it's on the right too. There's a level of the right that's just completely fucking insane. There's just a bunch of racist maniacs, right? Yes, and liberals like to believe that it doesn't exist on their extremism doesn't exist on their side. You know, that's why they defend just about anybody. Oh God, killing that kid down. As long as you're on your side, you're good. You know, and as you're against them, anything goes. What are the Scientologists? Fair game. It's a fair game rule. This is perfect. Liberal extremists are more annoying because people take them seriously. And I'll tell you why they take them seriously. With liberalism, you get the shit cake, right? But there's a whole bunch of goddamn whipped cream and sprinkles and cherries on top, right? With the right-wing wackos, you just get shit. It's like hate. Like right in front of you. It's like the most attractive, unattractive shit. I remember I was watching a funny video about a German biker game that dropped their sort of their far right Nazi stuff, and you know why? You want to? Did I tell you this story? I watched this. Yeah. They kind of dropped the white nationalism stuff like that. Like they were like, why? We couldn't get any chicks to go to the party. Because it's a big shit stand with girls like, there's no bigger turn off to a woman than I hate. But the left wing hate, because nobody hates like a liberal, it's got this cover of, I care about your mental condition. I care about black people, and I care about the poor children of Palestine. And once you tear all that, it's the same shit that you get from the right. That's why. And women will fall for that shit. Oh, he's so caring. And he's not. It's worse.
He's so in tune with his emotions.
Yeah, he's so in tune. The exact bingo. That's what it is. Right-wing extremism is ugly on the surface. Left-wing extremism is a front. That's the difference. But you shouldn't even want those kinds of women. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you're going to do a lot better getting chicks saying you're empathetic when you're not than you are when you're not empathetic and make no apologies. Women don't want to hear that. They're not going to open their fucking legs and tempt fate and give birth to your bastard fucking hateful child. That's what's going on real deep back in the brain. But they might do it for Destiny, who's just as big a psychopath.